In this lesson, we'll take a look at packages and how to incorporate some third-party libraries or code from other people into your own project. This is one of the great things, again, about open source is that the community provides so many things, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just use their work. So we'll quickly look at how to do that. So in order to add something to your project, first we'll need to add a new file called packages.yaml. And then this is where we can specify the ones that we want. And then how do you specify? How do you even know what you're doing? Well, you can either one, have something maybe locally, you have another project within your organization, you can just grab the Git URL. And as we see here, you can just add the specific URL. Or more preferred, the recommended approach is to use what's called dbt Hub. And dbt Hub is hosted from dbt Labs. This is the community place to grab packages from all sorts of people. People upload it all the time. And you can take a look at it. dbt utils, for example, there's a bunch of stuff that you may be considering building yourself. So in the next section, when we talk about tests, this might come into play, as well as macros. There's all sorts of stuff that you can use, but let's see how we can add this. So how can we get this into our project? As it says here, we'll add a packages.yaml, we'll add this syntax here, and then we'll run this command. Like I said, I don't want to take too much time on this. This is something that you'll use as needed, but it's important. It's an important feature to understand. So what we'll do first is add a new file called packages.yaml. And let's use this one as an example. We'll just drop this in here. And essentially what this is doing is by default, because we're calling it a package and we're writing it this way, it knows inherently to look at dbt Hub for something called dbt utils. So that's how it knows where to go. And here's a specific version. It's very important to specify the version. You don't want to accidentally get some change implemented into your project. So we'll save this. And now the command is dbt deps. That's the command to download your packages. And it'll go into this dbt packages folder here. There's nothing here right now, but let's run this. Well, it looks like I've made this outside of my project, so I need to move this in here. It needs to be in the same directory. Let's try that again. Okay, so it found it, installed. Now if we look here, we can see all of this stuff is here. It's really, each of these are their own dbt project. Technically, they each have their own project YAML. So really what you're doing is bringing in other people's projects. And if you ever wanted to use this, let's say you wanted to, we wanted to use this macro. You can come in here. It shows you how to do it. Ultimately, when you use a package, you use it the same as, in this case, it would be a macro. So you'd be calling it very similarly to other macros, but instead you'll have to just prefix it with dbt utils dot or whatever the name of the package is, dot the function or test or whatever you're trying to get. That is just real quick how you add packages to your project. It opens up a whole world of possibilities of things that other people have done and hopefully can save you time by just bringing it in. And we have it added to git ignore as well, so that even though we're bringing things in here, these changes aren't going to be reflected in any git updates that we push. And so it won't, overflood your merge requests and all that stuff. So now that we've wrapped up packages, in the next section, we're going to touch on a really important functionality of dbt and one that really separates it, which is testing and documentation. I wanted to give it its own section to cover that. So this is quality assurance built right into the workflow. So I'll see you at that one.